A family in Denver is in desperate need of help after the passing of their father.
He had a tough go his last couple of months on Earth. First, the 73-year-old was diagnosed with COVID. While in the hospital, he found out he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Denver 7's Gary Brode explains why the heavy funeral bill is weighing on the family's hearts.
It's just been really hard lately.
Every moment is precious, especially at the end.
So we thought we had a lot more time.
More time is what brothers Chris Pedroza and Michael Cervantes wish they had with their dad, Henry Cervantes.
My dad will always be my hero.
Henry Cervantes lived in Littlefield, Texas. Last month, he told his family he wasn't feeling well and decided to seek help.
Took him to the hospital and they did all their testing and everything. They kept him overnight. Next morning they came in and they said, your dad has COVID, he just tested positive.
Later that day, his diagnosis got much worse.
And then they came back and they said, your dad for sure has cancer and it's at stage 4.
Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Doctors gave him 6 months to live.
All this that I'm doing right now makes me feel real good.
And with chemotherapy, maybe a little longer. Cervantes was reluctant at first to seek treatment.
Like, we just kept on like, please dad, like we don't want to lose you, we got grandbabies, we all want to see you.
His boys convinced him to get help in Denver, where they've lived for the last 2 years. The family spent their time together making the most of life until the chemotherapy would begin. But that fight never started. Henry Cervantes died the day before he was supposed to start treatment.
Another one of his dying wishes was that he'd be buried with his mom and dad. And that consisted of a lot, especially with COVID.
Between getting their father's body back down to Texas and the funeral, the bill was nearly $10,000. Money the family simply does not have. And to make matters worse, Cervantes canceled his life insurance months before his diagnosis.
Everybody's struggling for us, and I know my dad wouldn't have wanted it that way. He would have wanted to do it at the most cheapest, and we tried.
To pay for just half of the cost, the family has resorted to taking out loans, bake sales, and are now selling the furniture in their own home to cover what they owe, because it's the least they can do to honor a man who gave them everything.
All we need is a bed, a roof over our head, food in our refrigerator, and us.
Yeah, our dad definitely showed us to appreciate the little things in life. We're definitely going to keep the memory alive and keep him with us. So yeah, the house may feel a little bit more emptier, but we have an angel watching over us.
In Denver, Gary Brode.
I know he'll help us get through it.
Denver 7.
And as Gary mentioned, the family still owes more than $4,000 in funeral costs. So if you would like to help, head over to thedenverchannel.com and find Henry Cervantes' story in the Denver 7 Gives section. And there you can make a tax-deductible donation.